Hello everyone, welcome to DevOps for your family. My name is Rajeshwaran. Today the topic is all about AWS. There are two market leaders in cloud, that is I can comparatively say Azure and AWS. And there are few videos in our channel I have uploaded related to Azure. Then I thought of thinking why can't we try with AWS. So today we are going to just gone through the basic understanding of AWS global architecture. Then we have some prerequisites. How can we quickly deploy a EC2 instance, that is a virtual machine in AWS, and using user data to deploy a web server, and we can able to how we can check how can we able to access the web server using the public IP. Yeah. So there are let us start from the scratch. Like comparatively, if you say if you are going to create any resource in AWS, we need to understand the basic concept, regions, availability zones, and edge caches. So these are the things. So if you see, there are AWS regions, that is, if you see here, 33 regions AWS are into the global, and there are 105 availability zones and 600 point of presence and 13 regional cache. Okay, so what does it mean, the region? So the global infrastructure region is geographical area where AWS have their hosted their services or the data center. And within the regional availability, there are few availability zones. It's kind of a separate data center. I can take an example of India. So here, if you see, there are two regions available in India. One is Mumbai and another one is Hyderabad. So this is the regional location, and in that there will be inside the region there will be three availability zone. That is three separate data center available. So that why we are having three data center is all about the redundancy and the high availability. Yeah. So if you see here in UAE also there are three availability zone, and Bahrain also three availability zone, and these are all related to US. And here if you see Australia, and so overall 32 regions. In the region they are having more than one not availability zone available, and this is something related edge caches. This is something, if you take an example of CloudFront, that is a service CloudFront. So we will talk about this service in later. Okay, so let us jump into the prerequisite. So in order to deploy the resources, first we need to create a AWS account, that with the email ID. You can just Google and get the video, just follow the video to create the root account. But keep in mind, you need a debit card or credit card a number to register to validate or verify yourself, along with your phone number, and the amount will be get refunded to your account. Okay, and once you register, you will be getting an email. Let me show you. Okay, so yeah, actually today I just created for this demo. So if you see, this is the a new account which I created today. Yeah. So once you register with this your email ID, you will get a notification from AWS once the um, account has been verified or the validated. So after that, you will have a free tier of 12 months to use the AWS services. Okay, fine. So this is the first step. You need to just create a root account, and you need to ensure to enable the NFA. And we are not going to use the root account for the security reason. So you have to create a new IAM role, and that also you need to ensure to enable the MFA. I will go through the details now. So this is the account I have. Actually, this is the IAM user I'm logged in. Okay, and my root user, I have created IAM user inside the root user. So how can we create that one? So we go to IAM. IAM is a service, identity and access management, that is used to manage all your user accounts. So if I come here, I have created this BAH user one, and Terraform, this account will be used for our future videos for the Terraform automation stuffs. I have just disabled the access key. This don't have the root console signing. Okay, so this is user account I created from the root account, and I have enabled the MFA. So how can we enable the MFA? Just go here, and if you go here, security credentials. Okay, so here you can assign MFA. If you see, I have already say, just you have to just register MFA, just have a name and next, and you need to just download the Google Authenticator, and for example demo, and yeah, so you have to scan this one using the Google Authenticator, and you have to enter uh, two authentication, a consecutive authentication, then boom, yeah, you can able to secure your account by enabling this MFA. Fine. So this is the second steps. And once you created this one, you have to create a alias name. For example, let me just log out and log in with my root user account. So if I go here, okay, so root account also I have enabled MFA. So yeah, one. So once you logged in with your root account, okay, if you go to security credential, from here you can able to activate the MFA. Fine. Okay. Now the next step, I have created a user here. So if you see from this root account, I have created the IAM user, that is called BAH user one. Okay. So once you create the user, you will have this alias URL created. So this will be different if you create in the first time. So what I did is I just changed this alias name so that it will be easy for my IAM user to sign in. Okay, so if I just sign out, and if I sign in IAM user, so if I just sign in, okay, this is again going, actually there will be a unique URL that will be get deployed for this one. Let me just go through. Yeah, if you see, this is the unique URL or the alias name which I created from the root console. Yeah. So if I just search with that one, this is the alias name and this is the username and password, and yeah, I'll be just going with the MFA authentication 06392. So once we logged in with the IAM user account, and also if you, while creating the IAM user account from the root account, you ensure that you have assigned the policy. If you see, the policy name is administrator access, so that you can able to access all the service without any limitation. So why we are not using the root account? In sometimes root account, it's having the more privilege account, it has access to all the information. Anyway, we have secured with the MFA. It's not good practice to use root account. So we have created IAM user and assigned this administrator access, and the additional two-factor authentication give you additional one layer of security. Fine, but ensure to add this administrator access policy. So what I mean, if I create a user, for example, demo, so there will be two way of access. One is provide use IAM management console. If you want this user to log in with console, you have to check this one. So this is the way I created the my this BAH user one. So we have to tick this one, enable this one, and here you have to create IAM. This is something identity center that is for organization, like it's kind of SSO login that we will go through in our future videos. And you have to just create a custom password, uh, or I can just automatically generate, and you can able to also enforce this users to change the password. So once you the next screen, you have to attach the permission. So here you have to attach this administrator access. Fine. Okay, this is the way I created this BAH user one with this is the IAM user. Fine. Okay, now let us go through the next one. So if you see, this is the global infrastructure. So the one which we saw here, right, the region. So if you see, these are the region where AWS is giving the services, or we can able to host all the services from all this region. And I prefer to use, see why it's showing global now, because IAM is a global service. There are two services, two way of services. One is global, another one is regional. I will show you that one. Okay, so if I just go to, if you just look for VPC, okay, fine. Now if you see, you can, this region is like you can able to select the region where you want to deploy resources. Okay, so IAM is a global entity, and these are all other resources are regional specific. So if you let me walk through what are the regional services, and if I give you example, S3 is a global service, and IAM is a global service, and Route 53 is also a global service. Yeah. Okay, so if you see here, you can able to select your region based on this one. So I always select North Virginia, but you can able to choose as per your own like choice based upon your region. Okay, so now we have selected the region, right, and we have learned about AWS region and availability zone. So what does mean by availability zone? Okay, let me just give a quick example. Before that, we need to know about the VPC subnet route table internet gateway. Okay, these are the few basic things we need to know about. So what is mean by VPC? VPC, it's, if you ask me, it's just a boundary or the logical boundary of the network, where you can separate all your resources on this network, isolation of the network. And subnet, it's just a subnet of your whole VPC, the entire network you can able to divide that one. So route table, so if you see, each and every region have this one default VPC and subnet route table and internet gateway. Okay, so I choose on North Virginia, for example. If I go to Asia Pacific Singapore, here also you can able to see, right, VPC subnet and this one. Okay, so I'm going back to, probably I will check Mumbai. You see VPC. So the takeaway here is all the region Amazon has deployed, or Amazon have a default VPC with subnet and the route table and internet gateway. This is the user who can quickly deploy the resources, but we are not supposed to deploy any production workload on the default VPC. This is for our learning purpose. But eventually, in our upcoming videos, we will be selecting or creating a custom VPC for our deployment. Yeah, fine. So I'm just going back to my region, that is North Virginia. So here, if you see, this is the default VPC and the subnet. So all the region having at least three availability zone, but the advantages, this region was created initial days of AWS. So here, if you able to see, there are six availability zone available for this region. Okay, now um, so I have just explained about the VPC and subnet. VPC, it's nothing but our logical isolation of the network where we can able to deploy our resources or the EC2. And subnet is just a subnet of our VPC and internet gateway. And what is the internet gateway? So it's just kind of a router in order to so in our home, we all are having our home router, right? That was provided by our ISP. Likewise, Amazon also have this internet gateway. So any outgoing traffic towards the internet, that should be passed via this internet gateway. And this internet gateway, default internet gateway, that will be mapped with the default VPC, and also there will be a subnet route table. That route table, default route table, that will have association of the subnet. And what is security group? Security group, it's nothing but a firewall. So it's just a software firewall that will act as a security layer of your instance level. The security group will be applied on the instance level on the virtual machine. So what is EC2? Like EC2, it's we can call this elastic cloud computing. Like it's a virtual machine. We need to deploy web services, which is act as a, or I can say just kind of a virtual machine where we can deploy our application. And AMI, what is the AMI? AMI is kind of an operating system. For example, if you want to install any operating system, we need to have that OS available, right? So in AWS, it's called AMI. So we can get our OS or the operating system bundle with this AMI. We are having AMI for, like, if I go here, AMI. Oh, with this AMI. So if I go just try to create a launch instance, you can able to do. So this is called the AMA. So we are having, this was provided by Amazon by default. So Amazon Linux and Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, SUSE. So these are, and one more thing here, the main thing to consider, this we all this AMI having a AMI ID that will change based upon the region what we are selecting. For example, this is the AMI ID for Amazon Linux, right? Ending with 9050. If I just select probably uh, probably Mumbai, if you see, this has changed, right? That was like ending with 9050. If you see, this was changed. So you need to be careful during the automation. There will be a filters available to select this one, but this is just a basic information we need to know, that AMA ID is based on the region. Yeah, I'm going back to North Virginia now. Fine. and let me go. If you want to just go through, this is a console, you can able to search anything VPC, right? So if you want to have this favorite, you can add here, so that you just click that button, and this is where if you see, this is the default VPC which I told you, right? And this is 172.168.0.0.16, and if you go to the subnet, so based on the VPC, there are 6 availability zone available for this region. So A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So why we are having this availability zone? It's just for the redundancy purpose. For example, if you are deploying your application in one A, in case of any disaster, you may you are not having a HA, right? So we can deploy our application in 2 or 3 availability zone to ensure the high availability. Yeah. So if I just go here, let me pick probably Europe. I just want to differentiate the subnet availability. If you see here in the London, that is this region, okay, we are only having 3 availability zone. Yeah. So this is just to ensure this North Virginia having more availability zone. So at least all region at least must have 2 or 3, I can say, availability zone, but this North Virginia, this is having more than 3, that is 6 availability zone available, right? Yeah. And this is the default internet gateway. If you see, that will be mapped to the default VPC ID. If you just, if I duplicate this one, yeah, just to, so this is the VPC ID that is ending with 65C, right? So if you go to the VPC, you can able to see, right? So this will map with this default internet gateway, and there is a route table, right? So this route table, so how this works? So this is the local. If you are having servers in the subnet, that traffic it communicate or going to this local, and if apart from this local traffic, anything to internet, that will use this internet gateway. Okay, let me upload the diagram so that you guys can able to get more info. Okay. Okay, so this is the diagram. For example, I have deployed a server that is called EC2 in AWS. Okay, maybe I have deployed this on the North Virginia US1 region. Okay, and what are the components that we discussed, or what is the essential things we need to deploy the EC2? So first is VPC. So VPC have the subnet, and in the subnet we are having the availability zone, and this is the internet gateway. This is the gateway for the incoming and outgoing traffic, and this is attached to the VPC, and there is a route table. The route table associated to the subnets, and this route table associated with the subnet, and this EC2 instance, the NIC card, ENI, in Amazon they call it as ENI. So that network interface card, that will associate with the security group. This security group is kind of stateful. That means if you in this security group, you can only able to allow the traffic, not the deny the traffic. I will show you once we create that one. So this is the flow. If I deployed a web server, and how the traffic is heading to the server. So when a user open the URL in the browser, that will go to the internet gateway. From the internet gateway, this is attached to the VPC, then the subnet. The subnet has the association of route table, have association of the subnet. From that it will go to the EC2. In the EC2, the rules will be validated. Once the rule is allowed, then it will go to the EC2 instance or the web services. Yeah. Okay guys, so I'll be stopping this video here and we'll be resuming the video in the continuous video. Thank you.